What up? What up? It's the three-time baby making champion Ness here with another edition of Blunt Impact. Not a watch along edition, just a review. Not gonna be here too long for you guys. Checking in. Wasn't able to catch the show as soon as it started, which we'll get into all that as I'm doing the review. But thank you for tuning into the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. If you haven't already, like this video, share this video with your wrestling family and friends, and also make sure you subscribe to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. If you want to go even further, follow us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, like us on Facebook, join the True Hills Facebook group page. You can interact with the cast of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, as well as some of our faithful True Heels. And speaking of faithful True Heels, if you would so much like to become a Patreon backer for as low as $3 a month, go to patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. Once again, for as low as $3 a month, you get exclusive content, wrestling polls, prediction, championship, uh, all types of things that we got going on our Patreon. And if you want to go even further than that and get some dope ass True Heels merch, go over to prowrestlingtees.com/trueheels and you can pick up some merch so you can look fly like the rest of us. Hey, join the group, join the movement. What's going on with some all right. We already got some wild comments in the comments section. Not gonna say anything about that guy. Christopher Ryan Cooper, what's up, good brother? Good, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you guys tuning in. What's up, Jeff Samuel? What's going on? Hassan Terrell. Yeah, Randy, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna acknowledge that. Uh so yeah, let's just get underway. Once again, this is gonna pretty much be a quick show. Wasn't able to do the live watch along. Was working. Or actually I was on my way home from work. So yeah, we're gonna quick review. Shouldn't again, we shouldn't be here too long, but yeah. So all right, gonna let you guys know I didn't see the opening match. I was looking for a stream on my way home and I couldn't see it. And then finally when I did get the stream, uh the match was over. Trey Miguel was actually walking up the damn ramp at that point. So again, I missed the opening match. All I know is it was Trey Miguel versus Alex Shelley for a spot and excuse me, for a spot in the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. Again, I missed the match, but I just know that Trey Miguel won. So if you guys seen this match, let me know how it was to you. Do you feel as though the right person went over? You know, let me know how you guys feel about that. And as we go on with the show, I'll come back and check out some of your comments regarding that match. So this is where I started watching the show. The Briscoes and Josh Alexander cut a promo on Violent by Design prior to their main event match. The Briscoes refer to themselves as the baddest tag team in Impact Wrestling and the baddest tag team on the planet. After Josh Alexander addresses Eric Young, who he will be facing in the main event of Slammiversary for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, the Good Brothers actually approach Briscoes and say that their tag team title reign doesn't count until they beat them, the Good Brothers. The Briscoes say, fuck it. Let's make it count then. So now at Slammiversary, it will be the Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoe Brothers, versus the Good Brothers. that's going to be a match that even though we've seen this match at multiverse of matches, but it didn't quote unquote count then because the Briscoes weren't the tag team champions, and now that they can get that solidified tag team reign, now the Good Brothers are definitely the have been running roughshod over between them and between the Good Brothers and Violent by Design. They've pretty much been running roughshod over the tag team division. It's nice to get this new blood in from the Briscoes, and now again they just need to get this win over the over the Good Brothers to solidify their tag team championship run. So moving on, the next match on the card, something that I was looking forward to this match so much, and then I got it, and I was disappointed, and this is why. So, match on the card is Masha Slamovich versus Havoc. Slamovich, the match was over way quicker than I expected it to be. Masha Slamovich has been having pretty much all these squash matches, running through all of Impact's knockout division. I was waiting for that one match, the one feud for her to have, to see who's going to take her to her limit. Getting Havoc first, far as an established name, I said, whew, this is going to be a hell of a match. I can't wait to see it. That didn't last too long because this match was over in like 5 minutes. Like, it probably was over quicker than that, to be completely honest. There was like some slight back and forth in the beginning of the match, but for the majority, Masha Slamovich dominated this match, dominated Havoc of all individuals, which I have an issue with. I wanted to see that match again. I wanted it to be an actual competitive showing. But I can't be too upset because this is how they're trying to build up Masha Slamovich. And I'm not upset at that, that she came in, she has this major push, and now she's taking out a former Impact Knockouts champion, a former Impact Knockouts tag team champion with like the slightest of ease. So, while I didn't get the match that I wanted, well, the competitiveness out of the match that I wanted, I gotta say that they have high expectations out of Masha Slamovich, and she's really been knocking it out of the park. So I can't really be too upset, but I just really just wanted to see these two go at it. I hope that they can cross paths again somewhere down the line, and I get the match out of them two that I wanted to see tonight. But yeah, this is pretty much a squash in favor of Masha Slamovich. But again, it's a big deal because of who Havoc is and the name that she's made for herself. So shout out to Havoc for putting over Masha Slamovich, because it's going to make her look good whenever she goes after like a knockouts championship, or whatever the case may be in the women's division. Showing some love from the chat. Frantic World, what's up, Frantic World? What's good, Paul Hills, Slamming Sammy Joe? Your stream just started for me, and I'm 5 minutes late immediately. Yeah, I actually started. I started early. I started a couple minutes earlier, just because it's not a regular watch along. This is going to be a quick review. We go through some of these comments. The AEW Go Home show is not strong, Ness, but I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of this Hangman versus Punk. Only MJ versus Warlow. MJF versus Warlow. Yeah, I didn't watch. I'll probably check it out. I was at work last night too, so I didn't check. I didn't get to watch Dynamite yet. But going into Double or Nothing, I mean, Punk and Hangman should be good. I don't think it's on the same. Yeah, it's definitely not on the same like storyline importance, I should say, if that's the word I want to use, of MJF versus Warlow. Only because there's no heat between the two. There's no real heat between Punk and Hangman. It's just, you're the champ. I want a shot at your title. That's plain and simple, flat out. Wrestling 101, basic wrestling 101. Uh, MJF versus Warlow, though, that's been brewing for months. We've seen everything that these guys have both been going through. So yeah, that's definitely going to be uh, the more intense battle, in my opinion. Moose needs to take the Impact World Champion and be the Roman of Impact. I don't know what the people see in Josh. I see a future champion anywhere from Moose. Yeah, I mean Moose is great. Moose is great, definitely. But I think it was just Josh Alexander's time. He was definitely I don't want to say carrying, but he was definitely carrying the I said I didn't want to say it and I ended up saying it anyway. He was having a hell of a excuse me. He was having a hell of a run as Impact X Division champion. So I mean, if you've seen his X Division run, and I mean, it could have been for you. It might not have been your cup of tea, but yeah, Move is definitely a star, and everything that led up to Josh Alexander, becoming Impact World Champion over beating Christian, and then Moose cashing in his Call Your Shot uh, trophy just for Josh to go through everything all over again. Like Moose did his job. Moose did what he was supposed to do and looked good doing it. But again, me personally, I'm loving Josh's run right now. He's having some great matches. But to each their own. All right, so moving on. So after Masha Slamovich versus Havoc, Trey Miguel makes his way to the back and is met by some of the wrestlers of the X Division, congratulating him on his win, one of whom being Alex Shelley, who he just defeated to get the spot in the Ultimate XX Slammiversary. And there's no hard feelings. Alex Shelley shows love to Trey Miguel, and it's all good. It's all good. There's no hard feelings because it's the past and current, building up the current and the future. So all the good vibes are going on. Kenny King comes out of nowhere, starts talking shit to Trey Miguel, starts telling him how he's the greatest Impact X Division champion of all time. And then he calls Blake Christian a nobody. Said that he can beat him whenever, wherever, doesn't matter. So Blake Christian says, if that's how you feel, why don't you put your spot in the end an Ultimate X, a Slammiversary on the line? Psychological warfare. So next week it will be Blake Christian versus Kenny King, and whoever wins will be in the X Division Ultimate X Championship match at Slammiversary. After the show goes to commercial break, comes back from commercial break, Rich Swann cuts a promo on Matt Cardona, who seems to be ducking him after calling him out for a shot at the Digital Media Championship. Swann also says that he wants to take. Swann also tells Matthew Raywalt that if he wants to come from behind the desk, the announcer's table, and he'll kick his ass all night long, because it was Matthew Raywalt who interjected himself in the Gauntlet for Gold match, and resulted in Rich Swann losing that match. Swann's trying to make his way back to the main event spot. Waywalt, threw a monkey wrench in those plans. So now Swann needs to get his revenge. All right. Next match on the card, Chelsea Green versus Jordan Grace, which was a very decent match for the two women of the Knockouts division. And actually, they're both participating in Queen of the Mountain match that will take place at Slammiversary. Grace starts off with the advantage, but then is taking plenty of offense from Green, who, takes control of the match going forward. Then there's a lot of back and forth between the two women, a lot of striking from Chelsea Green, a lot of body slams from Jordan Grace. Within a lot of exchanges and near falls, the match ends with Jordan Grace hitting the Grace driver, picking up the momentum, picking up the win and the momentum going into Slammiversary. Some of these comments. I didn't know Cora Jay's boyfriend was in Impact. Yeah, he actually was in Impact before going to NXT, which he probably should have just stayed in Impact. You know, more power to him. You know, you want to go make that money, but we see how that worked out. Didn't even really, didn't really work out for him. He had like, only thing I remember is him losing, and then Cora Jade pretty much him losing the match, and Cora Jade pretty much like gawking over the guy that he lost to. Safet, what's going on, good brother? Sup, True Hill Heat fam? And chat voted Dynamite at 75% thumbs up, 25% thumbs in the middle. The episode was good, not great. I mean, on paper, it looked good. Like it had potential on paper. But again, potential and execution are two different things. Pastor Cody Mitchell was good. I'm gonna watch Impact at 11. I was watching Timecast, which is all great. No big deal. I was thinking about doing a later watch along, but I don't think anybody will be up for that. Too late. From 11 to 1 is just, it's too much. So moving on. Honor No More are seen backstage talking to Scott D'Amore regarding the injured Maria Kanellis. Excuse me, regarding the injured Maria Kanellis, who was put out of action due to the Good Brothers. They said that they want the Good Brothers at Slammiversary, but they are already slated for a match against the Briscoes for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Honor No More then tells Scott D'Amore that if they don't get what they want, then nobody gets what they want, which plays out later in the show. There's also an interview segment with Deonna Purrazzo being interviewed by Gia Miller, discussing the returning Mia Yim. And Deonna, our queen, my queen, your queen, the Demon Slayer, she has her sights set on Mia Yim now. Mia Yim comes back, who has her sights set on Deonna Purrazzo. She then says, this is the theme here. Whether she is the Knockouts division. She's the face of the Knockouts division, whether she's the champion or she isn't. These women, they come in, they try to make a name off of her, so she must be that bitch. No shade to Jade Cargill, but Deonna Purrazzo is the face of the Knockouts division, regardless of whoever is holding a championship. So then Tasha Steele overhears all this talk of being the face and making history. So she has to remind Deonna Purrazzo that she made history. She's the first winner, the first and only winner so far of the women's of the Knockouts Ultimate X match. But then she says, she's not here for that. They're not friends, but they don't really have any issues. They have a common enemy in Mia Yim. And Tasha Steele tries to make an offer to Deonna Purrazzo next week. Savannah Evans has a match against Mia Yim. So she tells her, why don't you come out down ringside or the announce table? And they're both going to try to plot to take out Mia Yim. So we're going to see how that works out for the both of them. Film Nation wrestling fan, how you doing? Ness, what's going on? What's up? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you too, brother. Friend of the world. Jordan Grace is so funny on Twitter. She said sorry to Chelsea Green after hitting her face, but told her she's too tall. Yeah, Chelsea Green is one of the taller competitors of the Knockouts division. She is pretty damn tall. Like, yeah. Might play some Dead by Daylight. My boys were playing that for a little bit, but then they like gave up on it. I don't know. When she when she first showed up, Ty was the face of the knockout division. Yeah, she was. Which is crazy because she was on her way out, obviously. Um, yeah, Deanna just took that and ran with it, having she definitely became the face of the knockouts division at that point, putting on stellar matches, having an amazing. She was a two-time knockouts champion. Um, then she became the champ, having the Lorena de Reinas championship, as well as um, the knockouts world championship, and then becoming Ring of Honor world champion in the process. So, like, yeah, she's definitely the face of the women's division, if you put it at that. So moving on. Next match on the card, Chris Saban versus Frankie Kazarian. Pretty much a match 20 years in the making. These guys have faced off in the past, but this match was on its way to being, and probably still will be for me, match of the night. It was a great showing from both of these guys. They haven't lost a step. They both look great in this match like they did 20 years ago. They just had that knowledge and that wherewithal in the ring awareness to make the match tonight look even better than anything they have done before. A lot of striking between the two of them, a lot of mat wrestling, high flying. Both of these guys were just pretty much evenly matched throughout this whole thing, which again, it was just a great match to watch. Up until this point, Honor No More comes out, attacks both men. The match is thrown out. So these guys ruined, which would probably still be match of the night for me, to be completely honest. These guys ruined a great match because they don't get a tag team or a shot at the Good Brothers because they're already in a match. After them interjecting themselves in this match, they're seen backstage saying, this is just a start. This is just going to be a start till they get what they want. Heath and Rhino come to confront Honor No More, telling them like they got to get it together because Impact is, they have a job at Impact. If it wasn't for Impact, we wouldn't even be seeing these guys because they're not in Ring of Honor no more, clearly. So, then they had to be separated by security. So we'll probably get to see whatever that happens to that next week. Next match on the card was Raj Singh and Shera versus Bhupinder Gujjar and W. Morrissey. It was an alright match, nothing crazy here. Morrissey and Gujjar pick up the win. Again, nothing too crazy. It was regular match. Nothing out of the ordinary. Exactly what you would expect. Just a baby face build up for Bhupinder and W. Morrissey. So moving on. GM Miller's interviewing Moose, asking him about Sami Callihan. Moose says Callihan is a fraud because he only can attack him from behind. Macklin, who Moose will be tagging with next week against PCO or W. Morrissey, tells Moose that he needs to get his head in the game and not worry about Sami Callihan. Which, ironically, the screen starts glitching. Sammy's doing his computer hacker thing, but only Moose can see this. He starts freaking out. Then Macklin's just sitting there like, oh God, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? What is he doing? What's wrong with this guy? And then reiterates that Moose needs to get Sammy out of his head, which is pretty funny though. So Impact Wrestling started at different time schedules. Nah, it ran as his regular show, as his regular time, but I wasn't going to be able to do the watch along, so I was just going to do a review. All right, and now we're going into the main event: the Briscoes and Josh Alexander versus Violent by Design. For the majority of this match, the Briscoes and Josh Alexander dominate this match. They are taking it to Diener, who always gets his ass kicked anyway. So that's pretty much what happened during this match. Diener got his ass kicked. Eric Young was getting beat up on as well at times, but there was some times where Violent by Design had an upper hand. Them using their numbers game when it was to their advantage. When the ref wasn't looking, a lot of chicanery, a lot of at one point. Diener uses the Violent by Design flag to knock Mark Briscoe off the top turnbuckle while he was going to go for the Doomsday Device. Yeah, it was just a good showing for the Briscoes and Josh Alexander up until the point where Violent by Design takes control of the match. Even Josh Alexander at one point ends up bleeding. His nose is busted open, but he continues to fight. So as the match winds down, Diener uses Eric Young's hockey mask on Mark Briscoe, tags in Eric Young. Eric Young hits Briscoe with the pile driver to pick up the win over the Team of Champions. So now, so far, to pick up the victory and pick up some momentum to have on his side going into his main event match against Josh Alexander at Slammiversary. So again, guys, I know this was a quick review of the show. My match of the night. I really want to say my match of the night was Frankie Kazarian versus Chris Saban, but the way that match ended, I really can't give it match of the night. So I'm going to go with the main event of the Briscoes and Josh Alexander versus Violent by Design. My MVP of the show, I am going to say damn. I'm going to say my MVP is Masha Slamovich because the way that she dominated Havoc of all people, I didn't see that coming. I actually didn't want that to happen, but it's all good. It's all good. Whatever makes Masha Slamovich look good as they build her up and continue to give her this push, by all means, I can't get upset at that. I'm not happy, but I'm not like mad at it. You feel me? LVP of the night. LVP. I'm gonna go with Moose because he was talking big shit in that. He was talking big shit until shit started glitching. Sammy Callahan started doing his hacker thing, so you look you look like a bitch. I'm sorry, Moose. You look like a bitch at the moment. So I put my thumb. I'll give it a thumbs up. This was a thumbs up episode of Impact. Great show. It was a good show. Not great. It was a good show. Get some of these comments before I sign off. It's good that the Briscoes are in Impact Wrestling, and I saw that TK said that we might see the Briscoes again in ROH. Yeah, I mean, at this point, everybody knows why they aren't there because of the past comments from one Jay Briscoe. I hope eventually that the Briscoes get to go back to ROH because they are ROH, legendary tag team out of that company. And, they've done so much in that company. And I just hope we do get to see them at some point, but people at Warner, they weren't feeling that. Time Warner or whoever the hell that is that runs TNT or TBS, they don't want them there because of said comments. Some for past. I don't think, to my knowledge, Jay fully gave an apology, so that's probably why as well. But it's all good. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Blunt Impact. Again, just a quick review of the show, all the important parts, everything that went down. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at skinny__Kravitz, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Every Tuesday, myself, Chris G, Romeo Anthony Cologne, we form NX3. We review NXT 2.0. And again, you guys can catch me on Thursdays. Got to see next week might be another review, but then I don't know, got to play it by ear because work is kicking my ass right now. So some days it might be a review, some nights it might be a watch along. We'll keep you posted. If you're already subscribed to our channel, click the link or click the bell to stay notified so you'll know when we go live. If we don't go live at 8 for the watch along, then we'll go live right after the show ends for the review. So again, follow, like True Hill Heat on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you haven't already, and you can, become a Patreon backer at patreon.com/True Hill Heat as low as $3 a month. And also, show your love over at True Hill, our True Hill store on ProWrestlingTees.com. Get you some True Hill Heat merch. So we're going to get to a couple comments before we sign off. Jeff L, what's good? Good night, friends. Much love to you too, brother. Let me see. So Ness, this is just my biased suggestion. What if Sasha Banks and Naomi end up in Impact Wrestling? How would you feel about that instead of All Elite? Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't see that happening whatsoever. But if we're just gonna speak on hypotheticals, if that were to happen, they wouldn't be a tag team together at that point because Sasha's just gonna get put. Sasha's gonna get a super push. You know, she's going to be at the top. Whatever plans that they had for her, for anybody else, they're all going to fall to the wayside by Sasha. If anything, I would rather see Naomi in Impact. To be completely honest, I think that she would get the respect there that she definitely deserves. We could definitely see more out of her in Impact. But if anything, if Sasha was to leave WWE, which probably won't happen, and if she was going to go to another wrestling promotion, it would definitely be AEW, or should be AEW. But, I would rather see Sasha in AEW and Naomi in Impact, to be completely honest. That's just me. That's just my personal take. All right, guys, that'll do it for this week's episode of Blunt Impact, episode number 80. And we'll see you next week. Peace out. Boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.